It could be. No, that was just basically a bunch of Scandinavian mercenaries that were trying to like carve out something for themselves. Because England for a long time was just a place to go and raid. The Irish, somebody pointed out you didn't have to be Scandinavian to be a Viking. You had what they call Hiberno Vikings, Irish Vikings, and Basque Vikings, and basically a Viking was a pirate. And when the Norse came to Ireland, and all of the Irish port cities were built by the Vikings, by Scandinavians. And they soon found, like most places they went, if they settled, they'd marry the local women, they'd convert to the local religion. Within a couple of generations, they're speaking the local language. But one thing that they really found in common with the Irish people they settled among was they loved attacking England. Hey, let's all go together. And so, yeah, that was a huge issue at one time.
Yeah, sounds like Antifa. yeah, definitely Antifa. Anyways, yeah.
Well, it's interesting. They talk about the early anarchist flags. The black flags were derived from the black pirate flags.
Well, yeah, the old Jolly Roger and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
The pirates had an early kind of a syndicalist kind of an organization. They invented things like workers' compensation. If you lost a limb or were injured in a boarding action, you were paid a certain amount out of the loot. Everything was by agreement. You signed articles. There were like checks and balances and rules about behavior, and of course sentences like being marooned, which was not a fun thing. They'd find you a sandbar, give you a bottle of water, a pistol with one charge of powder, shot, and ball, and wadding, and there you go. That the pistol was for when the water ran out, and you couldn't stand it anymore. People, Roger, you're back. Excellent.
Oh man, I remember exactly what I was doing on Y2K.
What?
Where is Roger? There he is.
Nothing I can talk about on the show.
Okay,
but,
we know what you mean. Dan, how did you prepare for Y2K, or did you?
Who, me?
I did nothing.
Freaking a lot of people out.
I think I was. I was working in a company that had a lot of mainframes that uses 2-digit years. And a few years before that, they were working to patch it up with 4 digits.
For me, Y2K was
millennium will survive another millennium.
It's going to happen again anyway. It's going to happen in 2038. Where you got certain machines that will stop.
Is that what the epoch time hits the limit?
2038.
Oh wow! What happens then?
I knew why. Repeated Y2K.
So you get more work.
Oh, we're gonna have
we're talking about what
revelations over here. The apocalypse coming.
Well, they were saying that, and they were saying, oh well, all the nuclear bombs will go off and everything will like crash and all the power will go out. And I didn't really believe it, but I wanted to be ready just in case. And of course, it's the middle of winter, so this is back when I was still a drinking man. So I went out and I bought a bottle of brandy, a quart of brandy. And I got a kerosene heater and 20 gallons of kerosene in case the power went out. And I said to myself, you know what? If at midnight tonight on New Year's Eve, if I look out and all the power goes out and I look out the window and I see all those little flashbulb bursts on the horizon, I'm going to want to drink. And that was and midnight came and went, and the brandy got drunk years ago. 26 years ago, actually. And I still have the kerosene heater somewhere. I actually haven't seen it in several years. It's buried in one of my rooms. I'm something of a hoarder. I admit it now on air. I have rooms I can't get into, mostly filled with books.
So for
I need to open a secondhand bookstore or just give away some of these books, but it's so difficult to do. You open up a box, it's like,
you mean the next Amazon? Sure, just start with the books. And then build up from there and start selling other stuff. Sell everything you got. You can buy something else.
I really should. I should. But they're my books. But on the other hand, if I haven't read a book in 15 years, I probably don't need to have it anymore. So that's the other half of that. So.
I'm sure
Roger, what did you do for
mind out there
Y2K?
that wants your knowledge.
Well, I mean, mine was a little bit more exciting than what you guys had because I was filled with a lot of drugs and
dude. No, dude. I was two knuckles deep into some American Pie.
No, dude,
right?
I had a plan. I had a plan where I was going to take over the world.
Oh my goodness!
And
not the Mad Max scenario.
Well, it had to do with computer technology, which didn't make any sense if you knew what the hell you were talking about. But in my mind, I was going to be able to create a computer system that was freaking far more advanced than what they had at the time. And when everything finally crashed, they would have to come to me, and I would be the ruler of the freaking universe.
Ooh, you know what? And this is his thinking is not off because I have collections. I collect things. That's what I do. I'm a collector. I collect the weirdest things. And I know when it comes time at the end of the world, I may just be the only person to have a particular thing, and somebody may want it. That's exactly my frame of thought. Yeah, I told you that about things I've collected. And by the way, speaking of collections, I bought this package of independent developers video games, and half of the files, half of the downloads are PDFs for TT RPGing. So, Roger, I know you lost your collection, but you're about to have 700 brand new ones.
Nice.
That
PDFs. Yeah.
Well, see,
or files.
I go against the grain because a lot of RPGers, they talk shit with people who use PDFs. I'm not one of those people. If you send me 2,000 freaking PDFs of RPG games, I'm cool with it. I love it. So send them away, man. I lost everything except for the quintessentials in the second edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and that just pisses me off.
Well, I'm saying like there are these role-playing games, and there are the multiplayer GM-less role-playing games, and then there are solo player GM-less role-playing games. How does any of these work? Well, we'll have to get to that another time, but I just want to dive into some of this. Yeah, some of these are designed for single plays.
See you later, Dan.
Bye, guys. I gotta go do some chores. All right. See you next week.
Talk to you later.
See you next week. Peace.
Anyhow, yeah, books. I think we should be embracing our books. I don't know. Maybe you can donate to an archive somewhere that may still exist to make sure that they're not damaged and they are actually carried on and you know.
Well, I have a friend
preserved.
I know this guy. He's got a bookstore, used bookstore, and generally, what I do when I finally get the box together of books that I feel I can part with, I basically bring it down to him. And he can't even usually afford to buy them here. Just have them. I might grab a book or two in return. So I, go down and bring him like 10 books, and I might take a book or two home. So I have fewer books. And I'm more focused. Like right now, I'm looking for a book by a guy by the name of Mahon, Mahaon, on the history of sea power, which I'm interested in because of a specific question that comes up because of his naval doctrines, which were very influential on the Japanese. It's basically the idea of the one supreme battle that destroys the enemy's ability to have a fleet, wage war. And that's what they tried to do at Pearl Harbor. The idea was they'd get all the ships. But the thing is, he was his thesis was a little more than that. His point was that when you destroy the enemy's naval power, then you can blockade their country, and they have to come to terms with you. The Japanese ignored that part because there's no way they could blockade the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. It was too much. And, I mean, there were thinkers in Japan saying, this is not a good idea kind of deal. But they were ignored. And I remember once years ago, I was reading these memos that the emperor was writing about the war. And, after the war, the Showa emperor, Hirohito, in his life, was always seen, Showa means the peace emperor. He was always about peace, no more war. Everybody has to love and get along, no nuclear weapons, peace. But you read his memos during the war, and they're conquering Manchuria. It's like, this is great, you guys are doing well, and how come you're not winning hard enough? That was always something with them. You're not winning hard enough, and then they'd be conquering these islands. Oh, good, Bataan Death March, well done, all this stuff. And then as the Allies were like pressing in on them, they're like, hey, you guys are supposed to be winning. And then it's like, yeah, I am not satisfied with your work. Then it's like, whose idea was this war anyway? And then the memos are out. I always wanted peace. Ask anyone. I didn't want this war. You guys are... By the end of the war, he's like, why can't we all just get along? I hope General MacArthur will come and save me. Kind of deal. And it's just amazing how his attitude changed as he lost. It was just typical rulers.
Indeed.
You know what government is? Government is an institution enforced by violence. Government is that which has a monopoly on the currency, on property, and on violence. Only the government can wage war. Only the government can collect taxes. That includes, and the money that you use to pay the taxes on your land is money that they provide. Control the coinage in the courts, let the rabble have the rest, they used to say.
Yeah, I see no difference between them and the mob.
Well, there's actually a correlation between the two.
Oh, yes, of course, Freemasonry.
I've been wanting to do something when it comes to what a republic really is, because people have this really screwed up perception of what a republic is, and they haven't done research into things like Florence, Italy. If they knew what Florence was like back during the early part of the Middle Ages, they would have a completely different outlook on what a republic is. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty brutal, to be honest. It really is. I mean, I would really like to do an in-depth show on that, because I think that would kind of bring things a little bit closer to light on what it is. Because everybody talks about the republic, or
right.
a democracy, like, all of this stuff, and they don't really understand the whole concepts behind that. They don't understand what it really means.
Well, I think republic comes from the Latin res publica, which means public business, public affairs, government, in other words, originally. And I always think of the Roman Republic, which was, a very interesting way that their idea of government was. And of course, they didn't have a constitution as such. It just sort of kind of grew. And you had the Senate, and the Senate were basically the wealthy. You had the senatorial class, and I believe they were eventually defined by how much wealth they had. And then you had the knightly class, the equites. They were people who were still wealthy, but they were less wealthy than the senators. And then you had the people, and that was the Senate and people of Rome, SPQR. And the people also were part of the government, but they before they had tribunes, they basically participated in government by rioting or voting with their feet, because they were proletarians. A proletarian is the definition is somebody whose only contribution to the state is their offspring, their bodies. They were the Roman army. In the old days, only Roman citizens could be soldiers. So if the Senate really fucked with them, the entire population would walk out of the city. And it's like, we're not going to join the army. We're not going to do anything. And then the Senate would be, Jesus, fuck. They're not going to grow any food for us. They're not going to fight for us. We got to do something here. All right, we'll give you tribunes. All right, to protect your rights, that sort of thing. And the emperors, once after Caesar, they started the imperial system. You had these guys who were populists very often. We've talked about, Nero derangement syndrome. Guys like Nero were immensely popular. And when you read about Nero's crimes, he's killing a bunch of senators. That's what Nero did. He killed a bunch of senators. And that's why all of the historians that came after him, of the senatorial class, talking about what a monster he is. Oh, he killed his mom. He did this. He burned it. Yeah, well, those are the people that really hate him a lot. So the people mourned his death. They thought he was great. He'd give them free stuff. He went out on the stage and played music, which the Roman elite thought was like horrible. Actors, performers, these were scum. You were not allowed to be a Roman citizen and do these sorts of things. And you were just like, this was like horrible. And he was out there glorying in it. And they said that the crowds loved it. They thought it was hilarious. So it's like, so the people were the means that the emperors would use to control the Senate. If some of the emperors actually, we see SPQR, the Senate and people of Rome, they would reverse it. Their banners would say the people and Senate of Rome, just to piss off the Senate. You can see these inscriptions sometimes and stuff, and you realize the tension there. That's why guys like Caligula and Nero were like driven out or killed or something like that. Caligula was probably a little more mentally unstable, but still, when you read about Caligula's alleged crimes, it's all against the senatorial class, or the knightly class. It doesn't do anything to the people. He's killing all these rich guys, and basically his senatorial enemies that were trying to kill him. And so that was the early republic. It was very, it reminds me of those early church councils I've talked about, where they would, the idea is that the church evolves through councils, and they're guided by the Holy Spirit, and so dogma changes over time. But a lot of these early church councils, whatever doctrine was decided on, was decided by which bishop brought the strongest monks for the free-for-all they'd have. But these guys would fight, slam each other with Bibles and stuff, and whoever had the most guys standing, well, we're going to adopt that doctrine now. It didn't happen a lot, but they would actually have riots in some of these things. Once Constantine made Christianity official, he brought the imperial foot down and said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and I've got soldiers to back up my religion. So things got a little more orderly after that. And so we've gone on until, as I've said, the one remnant of the Roman Empire left is indeed the church.
It was interesting when I heard you just say that somebody was crazier than Nero. I haven't heard too many people say that. You know what I mean? It is kind of strange to hear it, but it's true. And another thing that when you were talking about like the church, it was something me and Tan kind of messed around with a little bit. It was the whole thing with Switzerland. And Mark even brought it up on a previous episode too about the Swiss being the guards in Rome with the
Swiss guards. Yeah.
And there was always that struggle between Switzerland and Italy with who was going to be the Pope. That whenever we did our show, it was called the what was it? Not Dead Popes Society.
Oh, right, Dead Popes, right.
We started kind of diving into that. There was actually a power struggle because Italy wanted to retain power over the Pope, whereas Switzerland wanted their influence in there. So that kind of made it interesting on top of it. So
I know you had two parties, the Guelphs and the Ghibellines, fighting over the papacy for a while, and I think a lot of it had to do with the politics of Italy versus, more northerly regions, the Holy Roman Empire, basically. So you had the Imperials, and you know what they say about the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Emperor, he was not holy, he was not Roman, and he was not really an emperor, but they called it the Holy Roman Empire. Although really, you could argue that it was none of those things. The Swiss are an interesting group. And yeah, you're right. Them and Italy have always been at odds. You've got Austria there bumping into them. You've got France. I think the only reason why Switzerland has done as well as it has is because of those mountains they've got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult country to invade. And I know when Germany during the Second World War was just, they had invasion mania days. We'll invade everybody. Hey, Norway, let's go. Belgium, we remember this place. We were here just like 40 years ago. Hey, let's invade Switzerland. And Switzerland is like, we have every mountain pass, every tunnel, every road mined. Every single man between the ages of 16 and 30 have a machine gun. We will fight and Germany's like, whoa, 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 that's okay. You know, I guess the German military did like an analysis, and it's like, no effing way. You know, I mean, it's bad enough with the Russians, bad enough when your allies are the Italians. You know, they made they made a lot of very strict treaties with them, and it's interesting. They actually built some fortifications along near Switzerland, but they didn't want to be too obvious about it, so they came up with this idea, and they were basically concrete spheres. I think they were like 10 or 15 foot across, right? They would dig a hole and put the sphere underground a couple of feet, and they'd leave like a little manhole at the top. And this was like mini bunkers. And they had these all along. The idea was that the Swiss wouldn't notice them, but they'd have all these infantry guys and equipment and stuff just in case after they settled the rest of Europe. Well, maybe we'll like look after those Switzers and their, you know, their arrogance to resist the new order or whatever their thinking was.
Yeah, when I think of Switzerland, I also think of Hannibal.
Oh yeah, crossing the Alps.
When Hannibal did what nobody else would have done. He actually came in on top of Italy through the freaking French Alps, and nobody would have ever done that because it was so treacherous, especially with a huge army like he did. But that's how he attacked freaking Rome.
He kept winning battles, but you know, somebody said about him, he was good at attaining victory, but he didn't know what to do with the victories. You know, he just kept winning battles, and of course, I guess the Carthaginian Senate didn't really help him much because he had like a lot of political enemies back at home, and a lot of people were like, "Why are we wasting our time with all these troops in Italy?" And da 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 da. We need to be concentrating on maintaining our North African possessions. You know, Spain is slipping away, and da 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 da. And I guess it had to do with like a lot of the people in the Senate had holdings in North Africa and Spain, so they didn't really care much about the Italian campaign, whereas Hannibal's family was like, yeah, Italy, we want Italy. So, you know, just like they say, you know, the Vietnam War was lost in the American Congress. I think the Punic War was lost in the Carthaginian Senate. They just wouldn't back him. They wouldn't give him any supplies. And, yeah, it was a mess. Logistics. That's always what, you know, they say amateurs talk about troop movements. Experts talk about logistics. How do you feed these guys? How do you get them there? You know, you got enough latrines. Who's your doctor? Doctoring back then was harsh. I mean, really, going to a doctor back then, it's not something I would relish. But you know what? It's 10:15, and Roger, I was wondering if you had a script for us. We have V with us, so perhaps a two-blade script.
Yeah, I've got some scripts. It's if you guys want to do it, it's up to you.
I want to do it if Mark and V are into it.
V probably fell asleep.
No, he just unmuted. He's ready to be two blades.
So you wanna do it?
As tradition, is it not?
It
Okay,
is.
so now we can continue where I left off, or we could go into the one that I just did. It's the night the Udog failed to remove two blades.
Ooh.
This is his first confrontation with the Udog. So it's up to you guys.
I'm getting a call. Excuse me a moment.
Okay.
Hello, Sir Brian. How goes it?
I have to do with the laundry.
Oh, it went fine. It went fine. I still don't quite believe in the technology, but I'm actually in the middle of a live stream right now.
Hey, hi everyone.
Yeah.
You're on speakerphone. Where are you at?
Live from Columbus,
Oh, Columbus. Ooh.
Ohio.
Uh-huh.
Excellent.
When's your
Exciting.
ETA? When's your ETA for return anyway?
Well, it would have been tomorrow, but I don't want to have a blizzard follow me.
Oh, right. Well,
No, I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's pouring rain and thunder and lightning here right now. So this is the storm that's coming up to New York.
oh wow. Well, keep an eye on Thomas Kitty.
Are you at my house?
No, I'm in my driveway doing the live stream.
Oh, fun.
Smoking my pipe. Yeah. I'll go over and see him before the snow hits tomorrow. All right. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Bye. I'm watching his cat for him while he's gone. I go over there a few hours a day and play with him
Excellent.
and stuff.
So yeah, we could do that, or I can do the one where we do the this one's called the weight that remained, basically, and it has to do with the index and stuff like that, like how I was telling you guys about how the index lies to you and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So
All right, Raj, what do you feel like doing?
it's up to you guys. Now we can do the one that I have for two blades, because we really do need to be getting two blades this story moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So
All right. That sounds like a good idea. And we've got two blades here, and me and Mark to take up the other roles, and you, of course, Raj. So why don't we go with that?
So this one I can put it on here, and let me see. Yeah, here we go. Gotta pop up the stuff. I can put it. I'm gonna put it in the Jitsi chat so that everybody
Okay.
can see it. And I'll expand that to where it can be seen in the thing too.
Okay, I see it here.
Now this is an actual two blades story. This is primary canon, and this would actually be, I believe, the second actual one that has nothing to do with the index or the terminal or anything. It has to do with two blades and the old ghost and all of that. So
Okay. So how many characters do we have here?
I believe
Two blades, of course. Narrator.
we have the environment, which is an actual a reading. It's an actual character.
Okay.
Then you have the heavy, the old ghost, and you also have the wild card and the elegant killer. I believe the environment is its own. It's the only one that's like that. But I could be wrong. I can scroll down and find out.
Okay, so that's 5 plus the narrator.
Right.
Mhm.
Let me see. Yeah, I believe the environment is the only extra one that's in that area.
Okay.
Yep.
So who wants to do what?
Now I can do the environment, of course, and
I can do the narrator if you're going to do the environment.
mhm.
Now we need the heavy and the old ghost.
And you're always good at the old ghost.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I can do the old ghost if you want.
And B, you want to be the heavy and two blades.
Does two blades have lines?
You should have.
Yes, he does. Okay, I see it. What do you think, V? Heavy and two blade? Excellent. All right. So, Mr. Edworthy?
Doesn't leave the elegance killer, and that's it,
Wild-
isn't it?
The
The
Elegant
wild
Killer and the Wild Card.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Now V is muted out. I think he fell asleep again.
No,
Yeah, it
he's impolite. He's sneezing.
He's had his gummy bears and now he's
Well, no, there's no way to switch between the chat and then switch to the live part when I'm talking to you. You know, you can't. They're not up at the same time. So I was reading through. What's the heavy supposed to be?
the Heavy is a cool dude. Now the Heavy is probably the coolest one. He runs around with a freaking drum and he just beats on a drum. And he's like just a really, really cool freaking tough guy. That's his spirit. Now these are all actually I wouldn't even call them spirits. Well, yeah, I guess you could call them that. But like you have the Heavy, the Wild Card, the Elegant Killer, and the old Ghost. Okay.
This is like some 13 ghost kind of stuff.
No, they follow Two Blades everywhere he goes, and whenever he summons them, they appear.
Like stands.
Yeah.
Or
Now,
okay, yeah, I got it.
the interesting thing about it is like if something happens to them and they get sent back to where they go to, then freaking there's consequences because of it. Okay, so they can be cast out. It's just like with Two Blades. If he dies, he comes back. He's reincarnated.
He's a perpetual. Yes.
Yeah. So it's very interesting.
Okay.
Well, hold on, I got a noisy person coming in real quick.
No worries.
But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. The whole story behind the road and everything. I think I'm gonna have to kind of point out a little bit more later on down there too, because it's weird how this is all set up. I did it according to like rules that we discussed with Mike, and it created its own kind of world. You know what I mean? And it's evolved from it. Like it's really strange how this all works out. Believe it or not, it really is a strange story.
Excellent. Strange stories are good. All right, gentlemen. I guess is everybody ready?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be the narrator and the old ghost.
Let's see if I can pull the chat back up.
All right. Everybody's ready. Roger, you can give us your traditional countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, now.
The Two Blades Archive, primary canon script. The night the Udug failed to remove Two Blades. Is that Udug or Udug?
Either one, it don't matter.
Or will the Udug? The night the Udug failed to remove Two Blades. Scene 1. The road stops behaving naturally. They had been walking for hours, not to reach a destination, to maintain distance behind them. The road had not resisted until now.
Wind speed 0. Sound propagation inconsistent. Shadow alignment corrected.
Something's wrong.
Yes, it noticed us. Two Blades does not respond. Scene 2. The arrival without movement. It did not arrive. Arrival implies distance. Distance had already been removed.
Correction present. Correction observed. Correction determined.
Do you see it?
V. V.
Oh, I have a third one?
You're the elegant killer.
Okay. No, what's the problem?
Silence deepens. Scene
Said-
3. Oh,
Sorry about that.
silence deepens. Scene 3. First removal attempt.
Subject identified. Correction authorized. Removal permitted.
The heavy takes one step forward.
It's
Da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Sorry. Got that out right. He stops. He cannot continue. He was still there, but less certain. His outline no longer held conviction. It's starting. All looked at Two Blades. He is not moved.
Primary subject identified. Correction redirected. That's you, Mark.
Oh, okay. So it shows you.
Two Blades remain still. This is the moment observers would later misinterpret. The moment they would call hesitation, fear, cowardice. They would be wrong. Scene 5. Direct correction attempt.
Correction executing.
Light flickers. Sounds cut out completely. The world attempted to resolve him. Not violently. Cleanly. Two Blades adjusts his grip. This is the first movement. Scene 6. Two Blades acts. Two Blades speaks for the first time.
no.
Correction failed. Correction failed. Correction unable to complete.
Scene 7. The Udug recognizes structural conflict. This had never occurred before. Correction did not fail. Correction was not permitted to fail. Two Blades steps forward once, not attacking, not retreating, occupying.
Subject classification unresolved. Correction suspended.
The pressure lifts. Scene 8. Aftermath. V. V.
Is it gone?
No. It stopped.
Why?
Two Blades does not answer. V.
Because it doesn't know what he is.
Scene 9. Departure. Correction withdrew. Not defeated, not satisfied. Deferred. Two Blades begins walking again. The road allows this. For now. Scene 10. Final record.
Correction log incomplete. Subject unresolved. Future correction probable.
This is the first recorded instance of the UDUG failing to remove a subject. It will not be the last. They will return. Next time, they will not hesitate.
Okay.
Yay! Although you're going to have a little editing to do, Roger. I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, we all did pretty good. I was really surprised, except for V. He was horrible.
Well,
Everybody
I was supposed to be 2 characters. I didn't know about the third one.
Yeah, I got confused.
Well, at least
That's-
at least you didn't have like an English accent.
I don't know which ones I've used yet, so I gotta dig them up
You did great.
for next time.
You did
Yeah.
great. I was just picking on you. And Bob's here, by the way.
Bob, hello. Greetings, Roberta. So glad you could join us. We just finished a reading.
Yes, I was listening.
Oh, I'm glad we had an audience.
We did. I'm so interested, Roger, in this character, Two Blades. He's been your favorite from the beginning. Tell me about Two Blades. Who is he? Tell me the story.
Well, Two Blades is an icon, dude. He goes all the way back to Pangea.
Ah, Pangea.
So when you think of Two Blades, you got to think of a character that's reincarnated over and over again from the time of Pangea until now. So there's been different versions of Two Blades.
Right.
So he's kind of like Doctor Who.
Uh-huh.
You know.
I see. Kind of like Doctor Who.
Yeah, you know about Doctor Who, right? How he would change forms.
Right. I knew he went around in a phone box all around the universe.
Yeah.
Right.
He would regenerate.
But then there was a different aspect to it too that I wanted to apply, and it had to do with reincarnation. You know what I mean? Like, and there's consequences in the story too for every action. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So you have to be careful about the actions you take, because there's good consequences and bad consequences.
Right. Right.
And
Okay. So Two Blades is kind of like your iconic hero.
oh God, no.
Oh
It would,
no.
It would be, so see, it would go against the rules set down on the story. Like there can be no heroes. Nothing can be resolved.
Huh.
Okay,
So
so
the failure failed. Is that what it means? The failure failed.
nothing fails, nothing resolves. It just, the path goes forward.
I love it. Such a great storyline. You can take it so many places.
It's really interesting, and it's gone a lot of weird directions.
It has. So shall I tell you an amazing thing that happened to me on the aeroplane flying over the Indian Ocean?
Please do.
I was working on the script that I've been working on while I've been away. And I've been meaning to do it, and I just there's been so much going on. I haven't had time to sit and focus. So I'm on the last 2 scenes. And this guy was looking over my shoulder, the guy next to me, and I just was happy, you know. I was just like, oh, you know, it's nice to be noticed. I'm glad. I hope he's enjoying the story. And I didn't really... Anyway, after about 2 hours, he said to me, I've just got to ask you what you're doing. Are you an author? And so I said, no, actually, I'm not. I don't. He said, but what are you doing? What's the story? So I said, oh, well, you know, this friend of mine had this dream. And so off I went about Dude, Where's My Wallet? And you know me, once I start on about Dude, Where's My Wallet, I can't stop. So I told him how he had this idea that everybody thinks that the AI is going to take our place, but he's going to swap it and he's going to get this thing where you generate something from an AI, and then we all edit the AI. So we replace what the AI has written with our authentic input into the script, and then we put our own voices in, because what it's not important where things happen. What's important is the people who come together to be a community, to be a collective, to create content. And, like Mike always says, let's not worry about anything. Let's just create content. So, off I went for about half an hour, and I told this guy all this, and he was like grinning and smiling. And the more he was grinning and smiling, the more enthusiastic I was getting and telling him all this stuff. And then he said, I want to see something. Well, give me a link. Show me one of your episodes. So I said, oh, well, we're in an airplane. We don't have Wi-Fi. I can send you something. He said, no, but you gotta have it on your computer. So I said, well, I don't. But the guy who came up with this whole idea, Satori D, did give me like a spin-off that we did together. 3 of us did together, which is the 7 scenes of Senpasuchi. So he said, oh, I've got to watch it. I've got to watch it. So he watched, and it's long. I think it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's better than an hour. Yeah.
And he didn't get all the way through, because after about 20 minutes, he started talking. He said, this is unique. I've never seen anything like it. You guys are onto something. This is the next big thing. I can't believe it. This is your voice here. Who's this guy? What's this guy? And he was going on and on. Where do these visuals come from? And so after we'd done all that, and I was like, by this time, I was like just feeling like, like the cat that got the cream. Here's somebody who's like giving me all this feedback that like I've never had. Anywho, he says, I'll tell you about my wife. My wife was on Facebook, and she does these little things. They're like cooking reviews. And then she got 100 views, and she was or 100 followers, and she was so excited, and she thought it was so great that 100 people wanted to watch her stuff. And I said, oh no, tell me about it. If I get 3, I think I'm viral. I'm whoop whoop. Anywho, then she got 1,000 views, and then she thought, and then something, and she got 10,000 views, not views, followers. And I'm thinking, I like this guy. He's got a wife with 10,000 followers. I should get to know him. And he goes on in his story, well, she's got over 1 million followers. But when she got that big, she started getting a lot of feedback. This isn't good enough. You have to now have reels. You have to now put it out like this. You haven't got this link. And she said, I was having fun. I don't want to become some great YouTube or Facebook Mongol. I was having fun. And he said, but now I see what you're doing. And if it's an artist collective, would you guys be interested? Because I've got a cousin over here that does this, and I've got a sister-in-law that does that, and I've got blah, 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 and he was going on. So the long and the short of it is that we swapped email address. And even if nothing happens of it, and it might not be, but it's possible that we could have somebody joining us who wants to write scripts for her.
Wow.
From it, the feedback, to sit in with some real life person. It's one thing to get a few emojis and somebody writing that was nice or whatever on a video. You know what I mean, hey Roger?
Yeah.
But when you sit and you get someone who goes on for about an hour and a half about how wonderful you are, and it makes reality a little bit different. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you guys.
That was great. That was
That's
actually
wonderful.
good. And, and I mean, that's the thing that I've been saying about that with you, Mike, and Satori D, and Otto, all of you guys. And I've always said it. You guys have great freaking content. And I mean, I within the vacuum when he was on here, all of you guys just had a hard time understanding that when I was saying it to you. But I've always thought that you guys had quality content from the get-go.
Yeah, you've always been wonderful to us, Roger. You really have. You've been so encouraging. Yeah, you have.
you guys are a gift, but to be honest, I mean, it's just the way you guys set up your show and the way you do it. It's like it's a privilege for me to just sit here and record this and edit it for you because I have so much fun just editing this stuff. It's amazing.
Mm.
You're very good at it too.
You're brilliant.
You're very good at it. You've been a stalwart part of this whole thing. I shouldn't be saying you guys; it's us guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's really great stuff to have, you know. And I really wish that I still had the artwork that Satori did because I did the whole thing where I took the backgrounds off of it and I was able to make little like stage prompts with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at one time I was using one with Mark Edworthy. And I was making it to where you guys had that shaman that looked like he had a crown on his head.
Okay, yeah.
I would put it behind Mark Edworthy's body, and it looked like he was a little princess.
Well, of course you would, OG. Why would you do anything different from that?
You know, it was like it was cool stuff like that, and it was like you know, I ended up doing stuff like that because I was hanging out with you guys. You know, it's pretty good stuff. It really is.
Well, Satori's so in it. I mean, you know, just that I know for sure that we can get those images again. Mm-hmm. He sent me a welcome home video today. So, which was really lovely to wake up a few minutes ago and listen to a video from him. It was like, oh, now my life is complete. So I'm sure we can get it back, OG. You need to just tell us which ones you want and we can organize.
All
Okay.
I mean, that's just. I think that disappointed me more than anything when my computer crashed like it did is because I lost all of that. That was good stuff. I was able to go through and get some of it, like the one where Satori did with the ropes or the strings, the weaving.
Oh.
I was able to get that one. That was beautiful. And
that was beautiful.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of it was.
Was that the Kipu when we were going through the Kipu phase there for a while? Kipu?
I believe so.
The threads, the strings, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And and there was a few other ones that I was able to get, but I wasn't able to get a lot of them. I went through and checked, and then if you remember, we switched over from the old Minds matrix to the new ones, so a lot of those were on the old Minds.com infinite Imaginarium, and when we switched over, a lot of that got lost, which is a shame.
Yeah, there's a shame. Well, it's not lost, it's just not on your computer anymore. I'm sure we can get it back. You know, everything's open source. It's somewhere. It's stored in something somewhere. Did you get the stuff that I sent you via Mega? That was recently, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got all that. I ended up getting all that. A lot of the stuff that I've gotten was from you. Otto sent some good stuff with like memes and pictures and stuff like that. And then Dragus, he sent me a ton of stuff too. So his whole style of pirate stuff isn't the same as what Otto's is. So I went with Otto's pirate stuff for this show because this is more of like a animation. Well, female pirates, you know what I mean? You know how that goes.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, that's what he likes. Hey, yeah, I remember that.
So I figured you guys wouldn't want that, so I kept it separate and started using the pirate stuff that Otto sent me.
Okay.
And
cool.
Eventually, when you get settled in, I'll start sending you the stories that I the readings and everything like you wanted, like I'll start sending those to you. But there's going to be a lot of them. We've done quite a bit since you've been away.
Tell you, it's been like a hole in my heart not having that my weekly fix of dude, where's my wallet? I'm going to have so much story that I need to catch up on.
There's been a big hole here too, my friend. There's a big hole here too, but we kept it going, and Roger was central to that. And I've tried to keep everybody in line, keep everybody on course. And I think we've done pretty well. But now that you're back, everything will be much better.
Yeah. Mike misses you like you would not believe, man.
Oh, I miss Mike. I've been trying to think of how many other people I can get into Vibe Code with us so that we can quantum gather. Who do I know? Can I get Rupert? And what about GC? And I should ask this guy. And what about the guy across the road? I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, no. Quantum Qubit. You see what you were saying about losing stuff. If we had an online place, a repository where we could put all this stuff, then anybody could access it from any time, anywhere, and we could rewrite and what is that thing called? That Burroughs thing called, where you will use
the flip up, the cut ups,
the cut up technique.
The cut ups, yeah.
The cut-up technique is one of the things that Satori D based this whole game on, is that we're meant to rewrite and revamp and reuse and refer back and just circle around the visuals all the time. Mm-hmm. So we need a central storage place where anybody can access any of these things. Because we're going to be I can tell you, if one guy on an aeroplane was enthused, I'm sure that there's another 3 or 4 million out there who are going to be saying, well, what about those visuals that you did in that patch when you were doing the pirate shows?
Mm-hmm. Rakuda, he was on here. You could tell he was really impressed with what we were doing, and I mean, he hasn't been back on for a while, but on my videos you'll see him. He's the one that has that American flag on his cowboy hat, and he's cooking in his kitchen.
Right. Yeah. All right.
He came in, and I mean, this guy was great when it came to reading and everything. So, there's a few other people that came in, and then we have Riff Raff like B coming in. He just.
These are very well behaved. Very well behaved.
Oh.
Everyone. It's not complete without the riffraff, Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
B.
Glad to be appreciated.
My favorite character in Rocky Horror, Riff Raff.
B has kept me on my toes. Now I understand what everybody has to put up with when it comes to me misbehaving, because like B keeps...
Welcome to the Quantum Gathering, where minds unite, people flatline.